All right, so interesting situation happened at the end of the Jets game. So just to set the stage as to what you're looking at, what the situation is, the New York Jets were currently up 4 points and they were facing a 4th down and 2 deep into Tampa Bay territory. There is under 2 minutes left and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have no timeouts. So you convert to first down, you win the football game. You don't, Tampa Bay has a chance to march down the field and score a touchdown to win instead of just to tie if you were to kick a field goal. The 4th down decision bot likes the decision to go for it right here, and I think I do as well. I think it makes sense. Go for it, try and win, try to get the upset here. I like the logic behind it. However, what's less interesting about the act of actually going for it or not, and more interesting in my opinion, is the play call itself, because there's been a lot of talk about this play call. A lot of people have criticized the coaching staff. Why call a quarterback sneak here? Well, they kind of didn't. This is an option play, and so there are two options. Zach Wilson can keep it himself and run a quarterback sneak, or he could just hand it off to Braxton Berrios, who's in motion from the left of your screen to the right of the screen. So Wilson's first read has to be those three guys right there. You have Sue, Vea, and Will Goldson, who are three of the better interior defensive linemen in the league. They're very good. So that alone just lets you know, hey, you have a mismatch if you want to go for the quarterback sneak. Meanwhile, if you hand it off, you can clearly see that there is a numbers advantage in terms of everyone has a guy you can block, and Berrios is running to the outside. So basically kind of the logic is, what do you trust more? Are you going to run at your opponent's strengths, or are you going to run against your opponent's weaknesses? And maybe weakness is a bit harsh because, listen, like, you have to block Devin White here. Jordan Whitehead's there. Like, it's not like it's an easy situation here, but it's easier than trying to, run up the gut against Vita Vea. Now, Carlton Davis over there, the corner who is covering Berrios, he could also run over and get to Berrios, but quite frankly, I'd like the odds of Berrios being able to do this. The Jets have done a good job at these outside runs all game. I would like their odds of being able to just pick up at least 2 yards if they did something like this. So to me, looking at it that way, that read seems obvious to me. Wilson should not have taken it himself and ran the quarterback sneak. He should have handed it off to Berrios. However, I want to direct your attention to right there. That little gap, that is why you're going to see Zach Wilson decide to keep it himself and to try and run up the middle. And this is kind of one of those things where you kind of look at it in one way and you could say, well, the decision seems obvious, but you look at it another way and the decision becomes less obvious, because basically for Zach Wilson, he said the way he made his read was he saw an A gap open, so he took it. And that's the way that I'm sure he was coached how to run this play. You see the A gap open, you take it. If you don't, you hand it off to Berrios. So simply, sometimes just the way that you go through your reads, which one you do first and which one you do second, can change what decision you make. And so I do think that this is kind of maybe a learning experience for Wilson to say, hey, let's try to look at everything. Let's not just, I get wanting to simplify it when it's a young quarterback, but sometimes you got to, football's a complex sport and you got to look at a lot of different things and you got to pay more attention to other stuff, especially when basically, the way that you have to make this work is you're squeezing in between Goldson and Vea to try to pick up not just 1, but 2 yards. And this is how the Jets are going to be blocking those two guys as well. So they're basically blocking 92 for Tampa Bay, Goldson, just straight into the A gap that Wilson is trying to get to. So that's going to be really tough. I mean, that's a tough block, trying to push Goldson 2 yards back on a one-on-one matchup. I mean, that's going to be a difficult block to make. I can't really blame them too much for not being able to get it. As you see, Tampa Bay does end up getting this stop right here. So I understand why he did it. I do. I don't think he should have. And to me, this is not necessarily on the play call as much as I said it was when I first watched it, because I didn't realize that what happened there on that play, which is why you learn some new information listening to the press conference. I actually don't think this was a bad play call necessarily. I think it was a good play call. I think Wilson just screwed it up. And again, I'm not bashing the guy. He's a young quarterback. He'll get better. Trust me. If you've been following this channel, you know I'm a big Zach Wilson guy. I'll show the other angle so you can see, if he hands it off to Berrios, do they get the first down? Probably. I can't say for certain because, the defense would have reacted differently had it been a handoff. So who knows? But it seems like that was probably the right move. It seems like that had a good chance of working, and that might have just cost them a football game, quite frankly. So not the best read, but again, young quarterback, you expect this stuff to happen. a tough loss, but a learning experience for him. Hopefully he doesn't do it again in the future. But yeah, that's what I thought about it. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.